What's up, guys? This is the Jose Show. Happy Thursday. I hope that everyone is enjoying their day. But anywho, let's get to the hot topics. Now let's talk about Tish and Noah Cyrus. So the Cyrus family is back to their groove because Miley Cyrus's mom Tish and sister Noah just dropped a super fun video busting moves and flashing grins like there was never any supposed beef between them. Okay, so Noah posted a TikTok clip Sunday showing her and Tish vibing to pop music by M with her caption, "Mommy, guess who's replacing Brandy?" at Sorry, where Cyrus jokingly hinting she's stepping in to co-host her mom's podcast with her. So as TMZ spilled over a year ago, the rumor mill was buzzing with accusations that Tish swept her now hubby Dominic Purcell right from under Noah's nose. Alright, so apparently Noah and Dominic had a thing going before he ended up in Tish's arms, so her absence from her mom and Dom's Malibu wedding in August of 2023 seemed to make a little more sense. Alright, but it looks like the mother-daughter duo might have been patching things up for a while now. Noah posted a birthday tribute to Tish last May, right after a sweet Mother's Day shout out. So while it's all smooth sailing for Tish and Noah now, the real family drama seems to be coming from Billy Ray. He's currently dealing with some ongoing beef between his sons Trace and Brayson. Alright, so this is really insane. I am so glad that Noah Cyrus is finally getting along with her mother because that's how it should be. And Tish is a very nice woman and she is a very good mother after all, okay? I think that Noah, in my opinion, should be beefing just with her father because her father is the one that was creating all of the beef in between the whole entire Cyrus family because of the fact that Billy Ray went off and cheated on her mom, okay, and by the way, ended up dating somebody that is like around Miley's age. And let's also remember that Billy Ray didn't give a crap about talking so much smack about Tish and then talking so much smack about Miley. And I believe that in a leaked audio, Billy Ray was expressing that Tish is a hoe or a slut, something like that. And he was just on it with the yelling and with the cursing about Tish. About Tish and about Miley like crazy. And he really didn't even have the freaking shame at all. And I believe, in my opinion, that now that Noah Cyrus might be co-hosting with her mom in their podcast, I believe that it's going to be a whole new level of getting along here between Noah Cyrus and Tish because now there's going to be more bond in between the both of them and there's going to be, more talking it out about, Tish's relationship with Dominic and then, of course, the fact that Tish got to be alone and depressed in a time where she was betrayed and cheated by Billy Ray Cyrus. And then, of course, there's going to be the apologies. There's going to be a lot of reconciliation in between Noah and Tish. And then from so forth, it's going to be all about, healing wounds. And that's exactly how it should be, especially because when it comes to a podcast, ladies and gentlemen, that is like definitely the number one thing to be healing wounds because you're just sitting down, talking it out, being honest, especially in front of a camera. And you are basically just, wanting to make things right. And I think, in my opinion, that if Noah Cyrus and Tish are finally getting along, then you know what? I believe that the Cyrus family is slowly coming together once again, and they're slowly uniting towards one another once again, which I believe is definitely family goals right there. And I believe that the only person that's going to end up all alone and depressed is going to be Billy Ray Cyrus because Billy Ray is over here just talking smack and he's over here, cheating and betraying. And of course, now he is divorcing the woman that, by the way, he got to betray Tish Cyrus with. And by the way, her name is Fire Rose. And now that he is divorcing the woman, now he is more depressed. And now he is basically definitely not knowing what to do at this point. So it's very sad though because I feel like at this point Billy Ray Cyrus needs to really get it together and he needs to realize that he has a beautiful family that he needs to get along with and that his family has never done anything to him in order for him to be doing the kind of BS that he did to Tish Cyrus, and also the type of BS that he did to Miley Cyrus by talking so much smack about her behind her back as well. So there needs to be a lot of fixing going on here in between Billy Ray and the family. But if Billy Ray wants to continue off and be stuck into his own ways, then unfortunately he's going to continue to be alone for the rest of his life. And he's not going to get any support from Miley. He's not going to get any support from Brandy. He's not going to get any support from Noah. And he definitely is not going to get any support from Trey Cyrus nor from Brayson. And most definitely not from Tish, because now Tish is divorced from the man. So it's really sad, ladies and gentlemen. But anyways, this right here is definitely a proof that even though you have beef with your own family, you can definitely reconcile in a way. It can be in a podcast, it can be in a park or wherever. So I am happy for Noah and for Tish. All right, now on to the next topic. Now let's talk about Toni Braxton. So Toni Braxton and Birdman are married and have been for 8 months, though it seems the honeymoon period was pretty damn rough. So, according to documents obtained by TMZ, Toni and Birdman quietly and very secretly obviously tied the knot on August 8 of 2024. Now here comes the shocker. We know that's when they got married because the wedding date is mentioned in the divorce docs Toni filed 2 weeks later. Alright, so yeah, that's right. Toni's filing, which we've also seen, lists their date of separation as August 10. Now, quick recap. The couple holds a secret wedding ceremony, and then 2 days later, Toni at least says they were on the outs and headed for divorce. So, in the docs, Braxton and her attorney called the marriage irretrievably broken. Alright, so, okay, here's another plot twist. Because while it seems they were headed for a split, Toni dismissed the divorce petition in January of 2025 and Birdman signed off on that too. Okay, so as of now, they're legally still husband and wife. As for whether they're happily married, we can't say. Now, TMZ reached out to Toni, Birdman, and their reps, and everyone's radio silent for now. So, Birdman initially proposed to Toni in February of 2018, and shortly after purchased Toni's massive $1 million engagement ring and several other pricey pieces of jewelry from expensive watches to vintage earrings. So this is really insane. I think that since Toni Braxton got to file for divorce just 2 weeks after getting married to Birdman, I think that Toni Braxton didn't know what she was putting herself into when she got married to the man. That maybe there was a lot of depression, a lot of stress, a lot of conflict going on in between Toni and Birdman, that she was all like, you know what, screw it, I am divorcing this man. But then all of a sudden on January, she changes her mind and she was like, you know what, I'm going to give this marriage a second chance and I'm going to see how it goes from there. And ever since then, Toni and this man are still together. So I just think that Toni Braxton might have been going through a situation where she was just not sure about the marriage being a success. I think she was going through a situation where she was like very insecure because of the fact that she saw a lot of failed marriages going on, especially going on from Tamar herself. Because I remember Tamar was married to Vince many years ago and then they didn't last, unfortunately, and they ended up divorcing. And then Tamar is now in full custody of their son Logan, I believe. And I believe that Toni, in my situation, didn't want it to go through a situation where she would end up having a short-term marriage and she would end up getting so depressed after that. I mean, she doesn't have any kids to be fighting over because, I mean, Toni Braxton, I believe, doesn't even have any kids. But I do personally believe, though, that, or maybe she does have kids, but if they do, they might be grown. But anyways, I do believe, though, that, you know, if Toni Braxton really steps in and she's like, okay, well, we need to, you know, focus on ourselves way more. We need to, you know, go out to places way more. We need to have a better bond. We need to have a better sexual bond, especially. Then I believe that is when Toni Braxton should really, really, you know, realize that this marriage should actually work and that this marriage should actually stay, but that's if she goes down that route though, because I feel like she should go down that route, okay? But if the situation is that none of that ends up working, then of course Toni Braxton has the right to be filing for divorce, and she has the right to, continue on with the divorce after all, and then the end, unfortunately. So with all of that being said, Toni has already gone through a lot with the drama with her sisters, especially with Tamar, and she does not want to be going through any more drama at all whatsoever. She just wants to be in peace now with her marriage, and she just wants to be living a really good life for once and for all. She does not want to be, in a situation especially where she is over here asking for love, and she's asking for attention, and she's asking for this, and this, because unfortunately it has happened in so many marriages where they just marry, they divorce, and then they're wanting to seek attention. Then from there, they are completely depressed to the point that they don't know what to freaking do. And then later on, they're like, wanting to flirt with men here and there. And then later on, who knows if that's gonna work next. And then, Toni Braxton is already like 56 years old anyway. So, I mean, she doesn't even have the time anymore to be playing any child games anymore. I mean, she needs to just settle down and call it peace. And if she can't settle down, then you know what? In my situation, she should just stay single, and she should just be single. Okay, so with all of that being said, Toni, you are a wonderful person. You deserve happiness. You deserve light and peace. And that is all I have to say about this. And good luck to your marriage with Birdman. Okay.